Here we go. Roll the leg face down the middle of your mat. We'll begin with some arm work here.
Can I use weights?
Yeah, that's great. You can always use weights for any of the arm work that seems appropriate for you. You can also put the ball between your thighs if you want a little bit more work here to the inside line of your legs. And then here, just take a moment to feel your body relax on top of the roller. So the shoulder blades drifting down towards the ground, the hips also opening a little bit. So even your hip bone crest will widen slightly as your glutes release down towards the floor. Stretch your arms forward, reaching for the far end of your mat. That pulls the shoulders away from the ears, lengthening the neck. And then we'll rotate the arms so the palms are up, lift the arms a couple inches off the ground, and then bring them out to the side while holding the scapula still. The arms roll underneath the shoulder blade plate, and then you can lower the fingers to the back of the hands to the ground. So we shift the weight here from one side to the other. Think of dropping down through the hip and the armpit from one side until we stretch to the opposite side of the chest, going back and forth. And you can even turn your head away from the movement on your hips and the torso to get a little bit more stretching into your neck. You know how it is this time of the year. As you roll across side to side, really massage into the inside edges of each of the shoulder blades. And maybe when you feel a good place there, just stay there, linger a moment before you go back and forth to the other side. And then we can come back, settling here. You feel the sacrum solidly onto the roller. And you curve the arms up, a big embrace. Pull the arms up and in above your chest. And then pull the arms slowly open. Use a full long exhale to descend. So inhale as the arms lift, the shoulder blades drop and widen away from your spine. And then as you pull the arms open, the blades will knit together around the curve of the roller. Your chest opens as the arms descend. So let's lift again. Hug the air in. Pull it in towards your body and then breathe out and feel the arms stretch wide down, belong to your fingertips at the end of this movement. And we bring the arms up again. You want to go slowly enough that you feel the weight of the arms pulling against gravity. And then on the descent, the arms go down a little slower than they would like to just drop into gravity and fall. You want to feel that you're paying up the muscles here on the top of the body, on the front of the body, to release down with control. So coming up, and then exhale and sinking down. This is where the pull is in your pecs, and then we bring the arms up one last time, and then point the fingers to the ceiling. Lift the hands high as you inhale, and exhale, pull the blades down. So we're shrugging the shoulders up towards the ceiling, and then sinking the blades down to the floor, melt them around the roller, get heavy here in the back of the body, and then you lift again. Deep exhale, the navel pulls deep to the spine as the blades descend as well, and then we reach again. And exhale and back. Once more, rising. Exhale and releasing. And then the palms turn forward, and we exhale to lengthen the arms down, which long through your fingers across the room. So now we lift the arms up in unison to the ceiling, and then exhale to bring them back by your ears. Reach out to the hands, pull down through the blades, and we bring the arms forward again. When the arms are vertical, there's more weight in the shoulder blades, and as the arms glide forward, the blades follow them towards the end of your mat by your feet. So we lift up again here, push through the air. Exhale, and bring it back. Only as far as you can go without having an additional arch in your spine. You want to maintain the same curve that you have when the arms are forward, even when the arms are back. Which means you're just using a low-grade engagement through the abdominal wall, through that back from arching additionally. Maintain your S-curve spine here, and then bring the arms forward. And exhale, slowly come down, settling the arms through the air onto the ground. And we lift once more, going up, and then exhale and reach behind you, stretch. The fingers reach in one direction, the blades in the other. Feet are solidly grounded. Notice weight in the heels, on the front of the feet, and the inner and outer edges. Now here, let's bring the right arm up and all the way back for window. And then as you exhale, switch the arms. And inhale to switch again. Then moving at the same time but in opposite directions. You go back far enough to feel the pull into the muscles. Stretching here as the blade slides behind you. And maintaining a steady foot here on each side so that you keep your spine balanced on the top of the wall. Hugging a ball between your legs will help you organize the inside line of your legs. And then we'll bring both arms up to the top, to the ceiling, and exhale, lower them forward and down. At this point, we're bringing the hands to the shoulders with bent elbows, scooping the elbows in to lift up, and then exhale out, around, and down. The arms rise, and then circle around, and fall and move in. Lifting here, and then reaching around and down. Just shrug the shoulders as you move. Get a little extra mobility here in the shoulder blades and the muscles around them. This will also allow you to release your neck more thoroughly. And then come all the way around, and now reverse. Go wide, bring it up, forward and down. Roll the shoulders here under your hands on top of the roller. One breath per circle, make it nice and full. A shorter inhale, a longer exhale is better to relax your nervous system. And here we extend the arms all the way forward, fingers reach out long, palms to the ground. Bring the arms up and all the way back out your ears on the inhale, and circle wide and around on the exhale. When the arms are parallel to the body, you turn the arms down, they lift again, reaching up and then pressing back. And so to circle, take them forward, stretch out through the fingertips, lift again. Keep the abdominal wall engaged just enough to keep the ribs steady here on the roller. Of course, they do move with your breath, but you don't want to be arching the spine just because the arms are back behind you. Now let's reverse. Turn the palms up and circle back. And long behind you, and exhale, drive the arms forward and down. Do you reach back? And then exhale and push. Picture yourself moving through water, swimming here through the atmosphere. And the breath deepens with every circle, with every breath, and every repetition. We'll do one last one in this direction. Scooping back, and then exhale, driving it forward and down. All right. And then from here, we can slide on off. We'll take the roller across under the shoulders. Get a little bit more release in the upper back to help the neck as well. And so taking it right here near the bottom of the rib cage, supporting the base of your skull with your hands. Elbows lift. And we'll keep the hips down. Just look up at the ceiling behind you, and then lay back over the roller with the elbows fall wide and down to the ground, opening your chest. You can really rely on your hands to support the weight of your head and stretch your throat. Now tipping the hands forward, tipping the chin to your chest. Follow with the curve of the neck, and then there's a deflection to pull the upper body, thrust the spine with deflection also. Elbows narrow and draw down towards the navel. And then we bring the gaze across the floor, up the wall to the ceiling, and then behind you, and down the wall behind you, opening the chest, elbows drop. Slam them open here, and also press your tail down. The arch in the back is increased here, because we are in extension. And then you curve the tail up as you pull the hip forward, so both ends of the spine moving into flexion. The waist sinks down. The weight is now higher on your sacrum, towards your waist, and as you go back into extension, the weight shifts along the sacrum down towards your tail. And the tail lowers as the head lowers too at the other end of your spine. Exhale to move into flexion. Drawing the elbows together helps widen the upper back as the blades come around to the side of your body. The ribs spread and expand between the blades. And then as we go back into extension, letting the elbows widen down, we'll pull the blades together so the chest widens with the back narrows here. One more, exhale, come forward, suck the waist down, as both ends of the body pull towards each other. And we'll end going back into an extension once more. Hands give you a lot of support here for the head so that you're free to move. And exhale, chin to chest, and come forward. So, now, we're going to press with the feet, lift the hips up, and then do a little bit of rolling up and down. The length of your rib cage, the length of that thoracic spine. Maybe readjust your feet. You can drop your head down when the roll is up to the top of the shoulders, but not on the neck, and then pick the head up and push away from your legs to come up into that upper curl, waist sinking. The knees go forward, the head drops behind you, the back of the ground, and then come forward and up, looking down into your abs. And then lower your hips down so you can get that little bit of traction in your back. And keep hips down as you rotate over to the right, back to center, and then over to the left. And again, going from one side to the other. Big twist here. And last time, that's it. First to the right, and then again over to the left. And we'll come back, come up to sitting. I roll and move back, so I'm moving forward. If that's the same for you, go ahead and do that. And then we'll lay back and lift the hips into a bridge, take the roller across under the sacrum. Hold the roller, again, elbows go out a little bit. You're going to have a little bit of drag, pulling the roller towards your body as you pull the knees up into tabletop. And then let the knees fall to the right, and turn your head to the left. Keeping the left shoulder blade down. And then exhale, pull back to center. And then the knees glide to the left and the knees turn to the right. And you might even feel this stretch not only in your waist and across your hips, but also in your neck. And then exhale, pull back to center. Turn to look away from the angle of your knees. Keeping the chest parallel to the ceiling, even when the hips go parallel to the wall. Exhale, bringing it back. Using your obliques to move the hips in order to move the knees. That way you work from your core and not from the edges of your body. Which you can do, it's just a different choice. And here we go, let's do one more set. First to the right. And then see if you can find a spot here with the hips slightly tipped over to the right. You're going to be on your glutes and then do small circles here. If you find a spot that needs a little help, you might need to adjust the roller a little bit higher or lower to find the place that you need to release. And then let's reverse your circles. You change the angle of the knees also to either go more lateral or more medial towards the edge of the sacrum. One more circle, and then we'll pull back to center. And now the knees can go over to the left and return your head to the right. And let's do some small circles here. I would say that practically always someone feels a stretch on one side or the other, and a deep tissue massage that we need here on the piriformis, which is a muscle that runs from the center of the sacrum to the greater trochanter, one of the angles here of the fibrin femur. And reverse your circles. You find the spot that needs the help the most, maybe linger there, stay there, and do some micro movements to open that up. And then we come center, lifting the feet up to the ceiling, scissor split, one leg back, one leg forward. And then let's switch the legs slowly as one goes forward, one goes back. Reciprocal movement, they're moving at the same time, but in opposite directions. Let your feet slide across the ceiling and down the wall, and then up the wall and across the ceiling. We'd like the leg to go forward and down enough that you feel a stretch across the top of the quad and into the front of the hip. At the same time, when a leg goes back, try to see if you can feel a stretch in the hamstring. It's okay to have the knee bend a little bit, just to soften the amount of stretch you feel across the back of the knee. Really try to get the bulk of the stretch into the belly of the hamstring. Okay, and then both legs come up. Let's bend your knees and lower your feet down. And then from here, we'll keep the left leg rounded, pull the right knee into your chest for a one-legged bicycle. So pull the knee into your chest, extend the leg up and back. So again, hamstring stretch, feel that leg. The straight leg goes forward, sliding the toes across the ceiling, touch the heel down. Bend the knee, sliding the foot in, pull the knee in towards your chest, lift the leg, extend the knee, and then press out and away. Be sure that the roller's in the right place across your back so you feel good support. Sometimes it slides and you might need to pull it a little higher. We'll do it one more like this. Pull it in, extend it up and back, and then lengthen it forward for the biggest arc in the air that you can. Now tap and reverse. Go up with the leg, bring it back as far as you can, then fold the knee, keep bringing the thigh back closer to your chest. Bring the heel to your sits bone, and then slide the foot forward down the mat, stretch it out, pull the leg across the front of the hip bone, and then lift, 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 and pull it in. Tap down with your toes, skate it forward, see how far you can go, and lift again here. So we're scooping the arm up, bend the knee, lower, stretch out, pull across the top of the hip bone. One more time in this direction, lift and fold, and down you go, stretch it all the way. Leave it there and then bring the right arm back, opening up that right side just a little bit more. You can inhale to lengthen into the stretch and exhale to relax in towards the ground. The back of the body, sort of like a hammock swinging from two trees. Just let the muscles drop in and curve away from the bone support. And then you can bring the arm forward, slide that right leg back in, parallel to the other one. Lift your hips, maybe adjust the roller here, find a different spot. On the roller, you can just rotate it around its own axis or pull it in closer if you need to. And then let's pull the left knee into your chest. Bring it as close as you can and extend the leg up and back. So you feel the stretch. Take the leg out and long, tap the heel, pull it back in. Now the knee can always bend, also on the way down, if that's what you need to keep your back safe. You still want to feel a stretch in a healthy way. Reach up, stretch behind you, push the leg out. So you go a little further out across the room before you pull it back. Every single repetition, you're working for a little more range of motion, a little more ease in the body. Now the heel taps down. Let's reverse from here. So stretch forward and lift it on the exhale. Fold the knee into your body, lower the toes, skate the foot forward, all the way out, feel that stretch. The front of the body elongates, you lift and fold when you need to. Take it down, remember the other leg is still grounded here, the knee is not falling open to the side. Equal work across your right foot, your standing foot. Let's do one more here for the left leg. Stretch it forward and up, fold it in, and then press it down, go all the way out to full length and let it stay there. All right, and then you bring the left arm up and behind you, stretch it back, reach long. Opening up the front of the body like so. Another deep breath in and a slow breath out. And one more breath here. And you can try, if that feels good, you want to try both legs forward. They would rotate a little externally, probably to feel more comfortable in your body. You also can bend your knees. If that doesn't work for you, go back to one of the earlier stretches. Then take both arms back. Open the front of your body to the ceiling above you. Stay here. Our front lines get so compressed in our everyday life, in our patterns, usually from sitting, but so much from moving. And then you can bring the arms forward, hands to the roller, bring the feet in. Press down through your feet, lift your hips up, and then take the roller out from underneath. And we'll place it to the side. All right, so we're going to come up and then move into a full body rotation on the roller. So we'll bring the roller back now across your mat. And it's going to be tilted a little bit so that when you lay down on one side, your armpit will hug the roller. Now you want more of the roller behind you and less in front of you. So maybe you're 8 inches or so from the end of the roller. And you can prop yourself up on your elbow, take both hands behind your skull, knees are bent, legs are stacked, and the heels in line with your tail. So this can be a little uncomfortable if your lats are really tight. You can always go ahead and put a little padding between your armpit and the roller. So we'll start bringing the top elbow down, tuck your chin to your chest, and hug the roller between your arms. So that opens the back, the space between the blades especially. Now, you're going to bring the gaze across the floor to the ceiling and across the ceiling overhead, and then look behind you, go back, and ideally you have the angle of the roller so that both shoulder blades are supported. You'll pick up the bottom elbow a little bit so you can go all the way back with your scapula, your shoulder blades onto the roller, and let your hip roll backwards in extension. So that open the chest, and then we're going to bring the gaze. Sorry, you're going to leave the gaze where it is. Move your top knee forward, pull the hip forward, and then work from your sacrum and your tail up, rotating each vertebra one at a time from bottom to top. Exhale as you pull the rib cage around, tuck your chin into your chest, and hug the roller again. And here's where we adjust it if we need a little bit different angle underneath this. And then we bring the gaze again forward. Use your head to support. Use your hands to support the weight of your head. Go back. Arch over the roller. Keep pulling your top knee forward. We're trying to keep the pelvic girdle parallel to the wall. As we open the chest and pull backwards into extension, be sure your hands are really supporting the weight of your head so that your neck is calm and relaxed about this. And then we pull the knee forward, the hip forward. You're already going to feel some movement from the bottom of the body starting to move the top, but we're not initiating with the head. That's going to be the last thing to curl in and fall towards the ground. One more like this. Bring your gaze across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling, look behind you. Take your head back, wherever it feels like you're getting the stretch you're looking for. Open the chest, stretch the length of your spine. Body is in full rotation. And now we pull the knee forward and start to move out of it. The hip moves, then you can get the tail spinning between the two pelvic halves. Working up the spine, each vertebra one by one starts to rotate, spin to bring you around and forward, and then hug the roller here. All right, and we're coming over to the other side. I'm going to turn so I can still see you all. And just remember the roller is higher by your face, lower by your head. You're nestled in under the armpit. Legs folded, heels in line with tailbone. And hands support your head. So look down and in. Hug that top elbow in around the roller. So that open the space between your blades. Then your gaze goes across the floor to the wall. Continue tracing your gaze across the ceiling above you. Pull back here. We're going to do tissue massage into the shoulders, into the shoulder blades, and then your head hangs back. The hip and the knees, top knee still reach forward, the bottom knee stays grounded. Give as much rotation as you can find. And then we start from knee to hip. So that you're pulling your body from the bottom to the top, unwinding that rotation, coming back in to hug the roller beneath you. And then we start again with the gaze, moving the head to start rotating through the neck. Then the upper back. Let your body feel the support of the roller. Coming back here. The bottom elbow can lift so that you have as much mobility as you want in your spine. And then at the end of it, you can drop your elbows a little more if you can, if you want to increase the stretch across the arm and into the chest. And then again, knee and hip. Work upper spine, bottom to top. Exhale to pull the weight of your ribs around and down. Embrace the roller here. We'll go for one more on this side. Take your time, enjoy it, and move slowly. Feature every single vertebra one by one, spinning and then pulling the next one in line after it. We're going to go back, head hangs back. Feel the diagonal stretch in your abdominal wall. And then knee hip, and you will be using those obliques to help pull you around. Working from bottom to top, and then gathering yourself in. Hug the roller beneath you. A little bit of a fetal position at the end. And then we can come back and off of the roller. Yeah. Good. Does that feel relaxing? Yes, I hope so. Great. All right, so now from here, let's do a roll up. So we'll take the roller across under your ankles. We'll really, yeah. So just above the ankles here, and the legs extend forward. You can lift up a little bit, swing your tail out behind you, sit up tall, and then slide your hips forward down your legs, pull your legs back, and drop your head down for that big stretch in your back, and the stretch at the back of your legs. Now, we'll start to roll back, pull the tail up, the hands can slide along the legs here. Pull the tail, maybe lift the arms, work your spine down inch by inch, and try to push the roller away. As you go down, the head rests, the arms reach back, the rib cage stays grounded, and then we lift the arms, head, neck, and shoulders. Exhale, come up. And work both sides of the body. There should be no lifting to one side or the other. If you feel that, and sometimes I do, my right side is stronger, which is not unusual. But what that means is that if I know that I'm using my right side too much, I'm going to tell my left side it's time to play. Like, let's engage, pull your own weight. And you do the same thing, maybe focus on the weaker side or the side that doesn't work as hard. So just remind it, you both sides to lift equally. And you'll feel it, like the body will slide a little sideways if one side is working harder than the other. And you can pull. You guys, very good. And then diving over. And of course, if this was like not within your capacity today, you could always either take the roller away and just do your roll up there. It's much harder with the legs off the ground. It's less close kinetic chain. You would also have the option of using the TheraBand around your feet for a little extra support for the movement both down and up. We're going to do one more here. The arms move forward, the weight of the shoulder blades sink into the ground. You lift your head, exhale, try to suck the weights back as you pull the head and the chest forward. We're going into a C-curve spine here. Diving over, and then let's stack the spine from the bottom to the top. All right, so we'll do a figure 4 stretch here. So leave your right leg on the roller, take the left foot in, and the knee falls out to the side. So this is a good place if you're a little tight in the hip. I am. So you can take the ball here underneath the leg at some place where it's elevated. And then that would allow you to like relax into it, which will give you more hip opening, as opposed to trying to hold the leg up. So here we go. And you'll take both hands behind you, take your fist behind you, bend the elbows back, push down to lengthen your spine, and then look up. You can lift your eyes, you can lift your chest during the upper back extension, and then release out of that. Take your hands to your right leg and slide the arms forward, diving over and down here. And then stack your spine, your arms can slide back along the leg. And then you can take your fist behind you, push down, elbows bend back, lift your heart, look up, release out, and we'll do that once more. All the way over and down. Keep weight in both sits bones and then pull it up. to go into one more extension here. Chest up, shoulders melt behind your back, think of lining the collarbones. Eyes up towards the top of your head, towards your hairline, and then release. Good. And then we'll switch the legs. Left leg forward, pick up the right one. Go on the outer edge of the foot, the sole faces the other leg, and the knee drops down. So again, here, push down, try to lengthen your spine, lift up tall so that your rib cages pull off of the pelvic girdle a little bit more. Find the heart rising and the head rolling back. If you're comfortable, you can really let your head fall, just stretch out your throat. If you're more concerned about that, do a lesser movement, right? And then come back. And then your hands to the legs, slide forward, reach out, press down a little more into the opposite sits bone. And then coming upright, to move the hands behind you, get the lift of the chest. We're using the fist so that you're not pressing into the joints of your fingers. You don't want to strain them by giving them too much weight, too much load. So try to let the right knee fall open to the side as you go over and down. And then stacking it up. 2 more of these extensions. Lift the heart high. You can think your eyes can go back a little bit. Digging deep into the sockets. And then come back. And one more time, going forward and over. And we'll lift once more. All right. Good. Back to center. Now cross the ankles. The knees drop a little bit. And then you'll bring your roller closer in by your knees. Everybody okay with the knees? You could even do this elevated a little bit, like if you feel that it's tough in the hips, you could probably sit on the yoga block or 2. But let's start hands to the roller. Start lifting up and looking straight ahead at the horizon. Look down your nose, bring your chin towards your chest, and then move your head forward, stretching the neck and holding the shoulders back initially. Then the head dives forward, out and over, and as your spine lowers, the roller comes up. Going up the arm towards the elbows. You hang your head low, sit down between your legs, and then you press into the arms as you stack your spine bottom to top. Look at the horizon, then you can lift your chest again, another extension. And back to center. Again, think of not coming forward from your shoulders or from your waist, right? We start with the head tipping on the top of the cervical spine. You look down your nose. Keep the neck where it is, and then reach from the back of the head out, forward, and down. So that you move the 7 vertebrae of your neck, and then as you continue to go forward with the upper back, the thoracic spine, to the lower part, the lumbar spine. You press your arms into the roller. Pull your waist back as you're diving forward and down. And then sink your tail and lift your back from the bottom to the top. If you're zipping it up a wall, you come all the way in. And find the lifted chest, eyes high. All right, push the lower weight a little bit, recross your ankles. You probably have a preferred way, right? So do what you can, they're often different, right? And then again, sitting tall. Look down again. Just lowering your chin to your chest, you can do a nice stretch in the back of the neck. Feel that. And then when you stretch it as far down and as far out as you can, then you allow the upper back to start to move. You're really trying to feel that the 7 cervical vertebrae are extremely valuable, and we need them to have mobility and strength around them with the muscles in the neck. But that work should happen gradually, slowly, and carefully, right? So we don't overstrain them. So we don't overstretch them. Chest high, eyes up. back to center. And again, look down, so bring your chin to your chest. Feel the top of the back of the head move forward so that your neck moves too. One vertebra after the other, reaching out into space and down. And then allow the upper back to move, the shoulders released here, nice and calm to the scapula. Even as you're diving over, we're not pulling the shoulder blades all the way forward. There's still some length in the neck here without crunching the neck with the arms and the shoulders. And press down through your feet, through your tailbone, through your arms as your body rises here. And what's so great about the roller, I think, is that it really teaches your body how to move smoothly and articulate with control, one vertebra after the next. Right. Now from here, we'll go ahead and lay onto our stomachs for swan with the roller. So you can flip over onto your stomach. It's good to stretch out the legs after that last one, right? And then extend the arms forward. The arms a little wider than your shoulders. The lower halfway between elbow and wrist. Fingers reach long, legs can be a little apart, and stretch them out behind you. Ears are suspended between your arms so the face is off the ground. Now, think of pulling the head forward and the collarbone wide, where your gaze across, look up into an upper back extension. And you should feel the stretch in your abdominal wall. That looks great, good job. And then zip your belly into the floor, into your mat. Your gaze stays up, and as you go down, you gradually lower your gaze, bring your gaze across the floor, across the roller, and onto your mat, a little in front of your nose. And again, widen the collarbones to pull the shoulder blades back and down. You're engaging your lats. Pull forward with the chest. Rising up here. Think of lifting your eyes to lift your heart and get a little bit more stretch through your abs. Excellent. And then slowly down. It's like someone took a bowling ball and went from your sacrum all the way up your spine a little bit at a time. So you lowered under the weight of the ball from the bottom to the top. And the head ends up floating here. We'll do one more. Collarbones broaden. You pull from your triceps into your lats. You propel the body forward. You have to go forward to sweep the air up with the back of your head, the back of your neck, keeping the space between your blades. And then release down. There's still a lot of pressure into the arms, so you control your descent here. And release down, and at the end, let your head hang. Your forehead can touch the ground. And breathe here. Right. Now, we're going to come up into a child's pose and bring the roller with you. Actually, from here, come up to sit for a second. You can sit on your heels if that works for you, or any other way that works. So we're going to do a lat pull and release. So it's easier to figure it out here where you're vertical than it is laying down horizontal to the ground. So just lift your right arm up and then reach your hand as high as it goes until the shoulders shrug up by your ears. So you shorten the neck on that side and then pull the blade down using your lat down here. So you lift the shoulder up, you pull it down, your neck stays exactly where it is, but it appears shorter or longer depending on where you put your shoulder. Can you feel that muscle on your back lengthening and then working to lower the blade? I'm sure you can, right? Let's switch the arms. All right, so we pull the blade up high, reaching the hand as high as it'll go, and then pull the blade down gradually. It slides down your back, creating space here at the side of your neck, and let it rise, shrugging the shoulder up, and then sinking it down. You know how it is, like you're looking for something on top of the refrigerator or in one of the top shelves. You can lift your arms, but then you may have to move your shoulder blade in order to reach a little higher up onto the higher shelf, or the back of the shelf, and then when you get it, you pull the blade down, and then you can lower the arm. So we're now going to do the same thing with both arms lift, shrug both shoulders up, And then sinking the blades down. So you lift your blades here, you feel a stretch in your waist, and then the blades go down. One more time. Letting up and down. And now we're going to go into the child's pose and let the roller kind of support that movement of your arms in this position. So you go ahead and find your child's pose. And again, take the roller about halfway between your wrist and your elbows. Arms will be a little wider if you wish, and then we keep the head where it is. And pull the shoulders up by the ears, pull the blades down your back. Now you don't want to move your head. You want to move your shoulders as you're rolling the roller with the movement of the shoulder blades here. That's good. Yeah, you all are doing it really well. Now, if you were having trouble with it, I'm saying this for the people also watching the YouTube channel, you could always place something like a yoga block or a ball under your forehead so that your head would be stationary. And that way you really feel the differentiation that you're not moving your torso back and forth to roll the roller. You're just moving the shoulder blades on that torso to feel that length in your lats and then the work into your lats. Let's do one more. Shrug the shoulders up by your earlobes and then pull them down towards your waist. And then we come all the way up here now. Okay. So we're going to go into a little quad massage next. For this, we'll be on our forearms in a bit of a plank. So you can come first onto your elbows one at a time. The toes curl under, and the roller is halfway down your thighs. Now with this, you want to lift your belly a little bit into your back. So you definitely don't want to be sagging down in like a banana curve, right? Because that will be bothering your back before you know it. Now, with your feet grounded, like your toes down, that gives you a little bit more support. However, if you want the toes to come off the floor, you'll get more weight, more massage in. So we're rolling the roller from below the pelvic girdle to above the knees. You pull with the arms, pull with those lats. You may have to walk your elbows a little forward and back, depending on the length of your body and the length of your legs. Everyone's back feel okay? Yeah. That's the main risk here is letting go of that plank position of your spine. Now, we're coming back to center and we're going into external rotation. So your heels are in, the thighs are rotated out, so the knees are pointing out in the diagonal, and so are the toes, and then rolling up and down here. Here you're going to work the medial thighs. You're still on your quads, but you work the medial quad. Here, pushing back and forth. And usually that one, like you're aware of it, that maybe it's a place that hasn't gotten massaged in a while, but it's not usually problematic. However, if it is, if you feel like this is a lot of work for you, you can definitely have your feet grounded and then just work through ankle and foot extension and flexion. Now, usually where we all feel this the most is when we rotate the legs internally. So lift off a little bit, rotate the legs internally, and now you're going to have the knees and the toes pointed in. You can point the feet or keep some weight through your feet here. And now this is the lateral quad. It tends to be a little tighter because often our IT bands are slightly tight or a lot tight. And we're approaching that territory here. Keep the abdominals engaged and lifted. As you go back and forth, maintain your planks. All right. And then we're coming off of that and working into our shins. So, if you have one of the darker rollers, you might want to trade it out for a lighter one. Like the really heavy ones, there's not a lot of flesh on the front of the shin. Yeah. feel more comfortable. All right. So then here, quadrupeds, you're on your hands. You'll take the center of the shin onto your roller. Maybe move your hands forward or back as needed. And this comes a bit from one of the reformer exercises, one of the Pilates pieces of equipment. So you'll curl the tail under and pull the knees between your wrists, rolling across from the top of the ankle and back to below the knee. So we pull the legs under. And you can even, if you want, like go onto the top of the foot. Stabilizing through the upper body here by pressing into the floor with your whole spread open palm and fingers. Now, if it's a lot for you to have the wrist at this 90-degree angle, you could always like roll up your mat and then have your heel of the hand elevated and the fingers down lower. And that would lessen the angle at your wrist. Okay, and then assuming your knees are up for this, if you have knee issues, this isn't necessarily recommended, but we're gonna bring the roller more to the top of the foot, maybe even just the toes curled over, and then careful of your knees, watch your alignment, see if you can sit back on your heels here. So this will stretch the top of your foot, the top of your ankles, and you can bring your hands back onto the roller. If you want, you can lift your chest, legs fall behind you. But we're really trying to stretch open the top of your shin, the top of your foot. So often this is a spot that's really tight. All right. And then next, we're going to lay down onto your stomachs. And we're taking this under the thigh. So your leg's going to be in a figure 4 sort of a stretch. Right? So you can lay down onto your belly. And then pull one knee out to the side. So it's going to go across the top of the roller like this. And then you are perched up on your elbows, looking down. And then try to roll the knee forward and back across the top of the roller like so. So you get a little bit more hip opening here. Now you can change the angle, right? You can bring it in closer or a little further out. And see where you're tight, where you need the massage into those inner thigh muscles. And of course, if necessary, you can rotate your torso like towards the roller, which would lessen the amount of stretching. And you also can pick up your hip and work a little bit more range. Right, so the hip that is resting on the ground, pick it up and move your hips sideways to pull the roller closer up to the center of your body and then back down closer to the knee. And just one more of this. And then come back and we'll do the other side. So think of the legs out, so the figure 4 perpendicular to your torso, propped up on your elbows, and start turning. See? Yep. And you might be tighter above the knee, like lower on that upper leg, or you might be tighter in closer to the pelvic girdle. So you'll just really have to see where your body needs this pressure, where it needs the release. And you can keep it down and then try to stretch the flesh open a bit, or you can also pick up the hip and rotate it a little bit. to go back and forth. With the roller, you get a lot of feedback and the body will figure out what it needs and to what extent. And then let's come on back. All right. And here we're just going to do a little bit of a push-up using the roller. So you can start again, sort of on your knees, and then come down onto your forearms on the roller. Yep, sorry, hands. So hands on the roller. And then what you're doing, you're keeping the elongation through from head to tail. Then the elbows back and in by your waist to lower the torso down. And then push the arms to come up. So what this allows, if you're not like proficient at full push-ups, this gives you the chance to really work through the shoulder girdle. So the elbows go back by your waist, your body tips down. A little extra challenge because you're pressing into something that moves. And you come on up. We'll just do 2 more. Elbows come back and in, close to the body. So we're working a tricep push-up, not a bicep push-up where the elbows go out to the side. And 1 more here. Lift the tail in the air as you bring your torso down. Push the arms to rise. Okay. And then we're turning over onto our backs here to massage out the neck. So we just let that support the curve of your neck. Hold onto the roller on either side. Have your feet wide and your knees knocked in. And then turn your hips slowly to one side. You can close your eyes here. And then gently roll your head in the other direction. Really feel the weight of your skull, the weight of your neck connecting into the roller underneath here. And take your time massaging out this neck. Notice where it feels tight. And when you find a spot that you need help on, do micro movements back and forth. And just keep breathing while you do this, your back relaxed. And it's a good idea too, when you come back to center, lift the chin or lower the chin. And you're going to just find a different position, a different angle of your head and your neck as you go from side to side until you find the spots that you need help the most. It might be at the occipital ridge, it might be lower, down towards your shoulders. It might just be on one side. That could be the part that feels snagged and caught. And as your head goes from side to side, allow the opposite shoulder blade to sink into the ground. And don't force it, right? You don't want to force your neck to do anything. It gets in enough trouble on its own. But just breathe and move and let your body follow the movement until it wants to open more on its own. And you can definitely do more on one side than the other if one side is tighter than the other. You can even center and then draw circles with your nose in the air. And then reverse the circles. And we are at the end end of the class. And the end of this class for this semester, you can stay there and just breathe if you want to for a little bit longer. So I loved working with you guys this semester and look forward to next semester, but we now have a break until, well, this class starts again on the 23rd of January.